my thoughts and experience about the dual power of augmented intelligence and blockchain in precision medicine. As you might know, I have a lot of roles, but today it's very important that I share my passion as a digital advocate and as a Women in AI ambassador, as well as Inspired Minds ambassador. Over the next few minutes, what I thought I could share with our audience are some challenges and opportunities we experience when we deploy emerging technologies such as augmented intelligence and blockchain in medicine in general, but then highlight the specific problems in precision medicine. And then also some of the opportunities we have, the current impact, latest trends, a few of the portfolio tools we have available at this time. One use case that is very near and dear to my heart, where we can talk a little bit about how blockchain and AI would be used specifically for precision medicine and impacting global population health. And then I'll end with some thoughts that I have for future directions. These are some of the top 10 healthcare applications for blockchain in general. This is a global assessment. We don't have to worry about the order, but what I did consider is the scalability and the impact they can have. Definitely revenue cycle management in certain countries is more relevant than others, but in the United States, definitely. Pharmaceutical industry, provider credentialing, data security, ownership, creating universal patient records or patient records that are unique and personalized, value-based care, clinical research, and then last but not least, our topic for today, genomics and precision medicine. Also, I wanted to highlight what the top 10 applications are for artificial or augmented intelligence. And the reason why I use both terms is because I'm a passionate advocate for using augmented intelligence in medicine and healthcare specialties. I think it reduces some of the myths and confusions that are perpetrated regarding artificial intelligence. So by using augmented intelligence, I hope to emphasize that humans will always be involved. We're deciding the criteria, we're designing the algorithms, and I think it's incumbent upon us to do it right. As you can see from the previous slide where we talked about applications of blockchain, there is a lot of overlap, which is why the presentation today will share how the combined power, dual power of these two emerging technologies can give us better results. So what are some opportunities? As many speakers already highlighted, we have an opportunity to affect the full 360 spectrum in healthcare and specifically in precision medicine: prevention, treatment, imaging, diagnostics, research and development, and everything that comes within that domain, as well as redefining and reshaping the way we even do clinical trials in healthcare and life sciences. Virtual clinical trials is one hope that I have can expedite some of the efforts that we see internationally. Of course, we have a lot of challenges. And I would say that these are the challenges we experience in general in deploying AI and blockchain. Of course, they're more acute in medicine in general, and then for precision medicine due to the specific privacy needs that we have surrounding this specialty, they are even more accentuated. First, I would like to highlight the social determinants of health. As we know, it's a very important topic, even for the World Economic Forum and World Health Organization. We're still struggling with a lot of areas of the world that are not having access to the latest medical treatments, let alone precision medicine treatment. Ethics, very important, and I'll touch on it a little bit later. Data governance, if we want to do precision medicine and have maximum impact as well as sustainable, safe outcomes, we need to have appropriate data governance as well. Then, of course, regulatory and legal challenges. I just recently did a meta-analysis of all of the countries, and there is no country that's spared to avoid these type of challenges. Cost and interoperability are also remaining major barriers in a lot of areas of the world. So what are some of the advantages of using blockchain? Avoidance of systemic waste, abuse, and fraud. avoidance of systemic duplication and redundancy, access, the ability to decentralize when appropriate, ability to allow restricted data sharing, automation, scalability, immutability, transaction speed, proof of ownership, and authority. I would like to highlight the term immutability. I always have to emphasize that the more correct terminology would be auditability, but you'll see them both used quite frequently. Particularly for precision medicine, our ability to do restricted granular data sharing, having proof of ownership, having the ability to audit multiple stakeholders in a very efficient, automated way is important to know. What are some of the operational advantages of having this dual deployment of AI and blockchain? By using the potential benefits of both emerging technologies, we can aim for augmented effectiveness, accuracy, privacy, cybersecurity, auditability, like I just referenced, and access by multiple stakeholders across multiple disciplines, across multiple countries, or types of roles they serve in the healthcare ecosystem, such as providers, patients, families, research institutes, life science companies, etc. So let's talk a little bit about the impact of this dual deployment of AI and blockchain. We can certainly see how deploying a hyper-personalized approach and using all the AI tools we have at our disposal, as well as the advantages of blockchain that I just described, we could achieve enhanced consumer centricity, optimized data privacy, optimized data processing capabilities and our modeling capabilities, safety outcomes, and definitely therefore improve global population health. From a research and development perspective, like our previous speaker highlighted, if we all work together and have a global scientific data exchange with the current tools available, that's certainly possible, and we can have not only better outcomes, but much faster results than previously ever was possible. And last but not least, we can enhance the full life cycle of precision medicine solutions so that we don't have to do redundant efforts globally and duplicate results, negative or positive ones. I would like to share with you one specific use case that I've been working on, and that's very near and dear to my heart. And I think it's synergistic with what other speakers have mentioned. So I would like to highlight the option of having a precision medicine data exchange that would be either in each country or global. The concept is the same. And specifically, I'm working on one that is for perinatology. There is a reason why I do believe that having genomic data and precision medicine solutions for neonates and mothers can actually help us a lot in our quest to develop good and effective precision medicine solutions. So what are some characteristics of this type of global data exchange that would be customized for precision medicine? First, we need to take into consideration that we'll have multiple stakeholders, not only in their roles and their goals of having this participation in the global data exchange, but also in the types of data they need and types of access they need, the granularity. Also, we'll have multiple data set types. We might have raw genomic data, or we might have clinical data, outcomes data, or other relevant research data. Having the ability to combine all of those is very important. And this is where having a dual power of a blockchain or ledger technology, as well as all the AI tools available to us, would allow this to happen. So again, multiple levels of access, multiple owners of data, formats, data set types, and stakeholders could all be leveraged in this type of data exchange. And it would be very easy to set up with the ledger technology. Additionally, what we would like to focus on in this type of data exchange is focus on short-term outcomes, such as quality and safety of treatments, cost, efficacy, as well as long-term outcomes such as quality of life, impact on wellness of the global population, longevity, which, as we know, we have recently witnessed experts that say that even aging is a disease and it could be addressed as such. And I know it's controversial, but I think it's important to take into consideration what we could do to change that. And then, of course, global population health. With the current pandemic, it has become more evident to multiple institutions how important that is. And precision medicine is an important catalyst and conduit to solve some of the challenges we deal with globally. What would be some of the key decisions in establishing this global exchange and participation in it? Informed consent is very important. Not only is it important for patients and their families, but also for all stakeholders. They need to understand what participation in this type of exchange would actually mean short-term and long-term. Being able to allow dynamic consent, granular consent, and also for patients, the concept of self-sovereignty would be essential. Deciding amongst all global stakeholders what access rules are really necessary and relevant, and having a good balance between maintaining privacy, but also maintaining the efficiency of this exchange so that we can have outcomes and fast results is very important. Last but not least, compliance with all regulatory guidelines. As we know, on a global level, there are multiple regulatory conundrums that need to be managed. Having the massive capacity of a full AI portfolio and ledger technology, we can actually have a chance to manage all of those appropriately and make sure that we don't violate any of the regulatory guidelines. That is also relevant for compliance with any other specific rules that govern healthcare or life sciences in each country, cybersecurity elements that need to be specifically customized for a precision medicine exchange like this. And last but not least, ethics. I would like to just briefly speak about ethics by design for precision medicine. I'm a passionate advocate for deploying all emerging technologies in an ethical way, and I will only highlight a few key elements of success in designing a proactive ethical program. Creating a culture of ethics is essential. Often we see enterprises and organizations just developing a beautiful product that might be an 80-page PDF that has amazing content, and then no one ever gets to deploy those. So creating a culture of ethics and deploying these wonderful programmatic measures would be essential. Governance, establishing appropriate governance systems for precision medicine is also essential for success. Having an ethical auditing process, an ethical design of algorithms, and not forgetting that we hope to also have a broader purpose and the societal good at heart would be essential as well. So what are some of the AI tools? I'm not going to go over all of them. I usually just highlight there's not one perfect AI tool for precision medicine. Depending on what we aim to achieve and the specific use case or problem we try to solve, all of them can be very helpful. I would like us to distinguish, though, when we see a lot of the confusion in the media, I think it's important for us in the scientific community to always highlight the differences between deep learning, between supervised learning and unsupervised learning, because I think it causes unnecessary concerns sometimes. We have plenty of appropriate concerns we need to address, so we don't want any unnecessary concerns that are due to lack of digital literacy. So in terms of our blockchain portfolio, of course, that could be a presentation on its own, but I would like to highlight two essential elements. In deploying precision medicine tools, if we want to use blockchain networks, it's important to make a decision what belongs on a public versus on a private or a hybrid blockchain. That's crucial, and particularly for precision medicine, it's an essential decision tree in our logic. We also have to decide about what type of data and what type of models we want to use, such as centralized versus decentralized versus distributed networks. And not everything that we have in precision medicine needs to go on one type of model. Particularly if we talk about a global exchange, we can have a very good conversation about what needs to belong in one type of network versus another, and who needs to have access to what. So what are some elements of success from previous lessons learned and expertise with deploying AI and blockchain in specific use cases? I would say the biggest one is digital advocacy and literacy. I learned very quickly that if I do not spend enough time on educating everybody involved about in-depth benefits and maybe disadvantages of either one of these technologies, we're not going to be successful. And it's important for all the team members to be highly educated in what these advantages and disadvantages are so that they can do their job and role very well. An appropriate feasibility analysis is crucial too. Oftentimes people get excited about the potential of a new technology, but forget to do a thorough feasibility analysis. And as a matter of fact, most often I actually recommend not using a blockchain because the use case is not appropriate. And particularly when we talk about using sophisticated AI portfolio tools and ledger technology, we better make sure that the feasibility analysis is appropriately done and that we actually act on the decision to advise not to use if appropriate. And then last but not least, to also make sure that the return on the investment can be substantial. When we deploy both of these technologies, we also have to be mindful of the interoperability challenges. We have learned from other technologies deployed in the past in healthcare that there are tremendous problems that can start occurring and that are very difficult to solve later on. So it's really important to establish standards of interoperability early on when we establish precision medicine solutions. Like we already mentioned in the barriers, harmonizing policies, making sure that amongst all science institutions and clinical institutions, we have architecture standards that would help us make sure that we can share data and collaborate appropriately in a valid way so that our data is meaningful and can impact outcomes would be really crucial. And last but not least, we see pilots all the time. We want to get away from just doing pilots. It's really important to think about long-term sustainability. Of course, pilots are important for proof of concept, but you want to design even your pilot in a way that allows for future scalability if the pilot was successful. So in closing, I would like to spend just a few minutes on future directions. And again, each one of these could be a workshop or a presentation on their own, but I just wanted to highlight that in addition to this global AI-powered precision medicine data exchange, we could also have a hyper-personalized medicine effort. We could also deploy other emerging technologies in combination where appropriate, such as nanotechnology, quantum, and DNA computing. I think they're very helpful tools in the future for precision medicine optimization. Internet of Bodies and Internet of Medicine, I think several speakers highlighted the massive data we're collecting currently, and particularly for precision medicine, we know only the whole genome for one human already occupies quite a lot of data. So imagine if we're starting to do this at large scale, we really have to start thinking about how to protect this data and how to share it appropriately. And last but not least, I wanted to call our attention to the fact that we live in a digital, hyper-connected, hyper-virtualized world. And there are experts in the field who advocate for digital identity, digital twins, not only for finance, for legal, but also for healthcare purposes. So, of course, they are fraught with potential negative consequences as well, if not deployed ethically. But I think it's important for us to spend some time on designing them maybe the right way. And then last but not least, not only for precision medicine, but I hope that we can all collaborate and break silos and establish a global healthcare ecosystem. I think many speakers have highlighted the fact that it's important to think globally, to collaborate, and to share our positive outcomes as well as negative outcomes so that we can impact population health for the generations to come. And this concludes my presentation.